Hello, and welcome to 2016. Welcome to the new home of Research Triangle High School, and welcome to second semester of U.S. History. And I want to talk a little bit about how, as this wonderful picture taken by Mr. Lassiter shows, how this year will be new and different and special. When you come into our new classroom on the second floor, you will see a blow-up of this cartoon. And it's one of my favorite cartoons. If you're not familiar with Calvin and Hobbes, this little guy here is Calvin, and Hobbes is his stuffed tiger. And I highly recommend the comic. But his teacher, Miss Wormwood, has asked him what happened in Concord in 1775. Hopefully you know that something that happened in Concord in 1775 was the start of the Revolutionary War. But I think sometimes we feel a little bit like Calvin. Let's be honest, you're asking me about Concord. I rely on the bus driver to find my own house from here. Concord could be on Neptune, for all I know. And what happened 220 years ago? I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on now. I don't have a shred of context for any of this. It's hopeless, Miss Wormwood. Hopeless. And that, I think, is the key word right there, context. And what I hope that you get from this history class is some context on the world in which you live, some context on the world up to 1877, if you're in U.S. History 1, and just wanting to know more about your context, about where you are. So this is where we are. I'm not sure where you are when you're watching this, but when we come back to school on January 5th, we will be in the great state of North Carolina, and we will be in Research Triangle Park, which makes sense because this is Research Triangle High School. Why is it called the Research Triangle? Well, North Carolina State and Duke and UNC form a triangle. And that is why the area is called the Triangle. And people were concerned that the economy of North Carolina was not doing particularly well in the 1940s after World War II. And so a partnership of people decided to build what today is Research Triangle Park. And as you can see on this map here, the only areas that were urban in 1950 were Durham and Raleigh. Chapel Hill was still a pretty rural kind of place. But as more businesses located to RTP, it brought in more professionals, and they used the research opportunity given by these three research universities, and now we have Research Triangle Park. And as you know, our school was located, zoom in a little bit here, our school was located here, and we've moved just up the street to our new campus. So let's look for a second at where we were. That's the park. And we'll zoom in to where we used to meet. This was the 300 wing out in this structure, which I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but just for some context, this is the main building, of course. The LBB, if you had classes in there, and some storage units we had over here. This was the basketball/football stadium, and those shadowy people there, I think, are soccer players. This photo was taken in May, actually on my birthday, on May 19th. But there we go. And this was the old campus. And as you know, we moved up the street, up Route 54, to our new campus. And there it is. And if we zoom into it, this is RTHS 2.0. And that was the picture we saw starting off this video. And where we will be meeting is in room 234, here on the second floor. Sort of an interesting shaped room, but I like it very much. I hope you'll like it as well. And I look forward to us asking lots of questions and being active learners as we try to gain some context to understand how the world got to be the way it is, and seeing patterns between things that have happened over time in U.S. history. So that's a little bit of context for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the new building on January 5th. Hope you have a great break, and Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays, and I will see you in 2016. Take care.